All right, so hello, first of all. Yeah, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, of course.
So I do have a bunch of questions. I like the movie. Congrats on Slam Dance. And so my first question is, how excited are you for
I'm so excited. Yeah, it's been probably the most exciting thing that's happened to me in my film career. Yeah, it definitely is. And yeah, I'm just really excited to have it premiere.
it? All right, so it is early in your film career. I did see in some of the press things that I've watched all the films that you have on your website as well.
Yeah,
So I did see that I watched Night Trouble,
yeah.
and I I felt like when I watched Honeycomb, this was sort of a spiritual successor to that, almost like you were just continuing themes from Night Trouble into that. Why did you want to continue those ideas?
Yeah, that was something I thought about earlier. It was almost like I'm carrying on. I mean, especially because it's similar. We have some of the same cast in Night Trouble as well. That it definitely feels like a continuation of that world in a way, you know. And that wasn't necessarily purposeful. They're like very different stories in my head, but I totally see the connection, and we've talked about it. We're like, this just feels like a crossover, like they're in like a different dimension, but it's the same characters. I love that stuff. I mean, just the culty girl stuff is something I'm super fascinated by, and yeah, so I don't know exactly why that happened, but it did, and it might continue to happen as well.
All right, cool. So I also watched Violet's Bloom in April.
Oh yeah,
I wanted to know what caused the shift because the Violet's Bloom in April is very almost like Dawson's Creek-ish, and
yeah.
then you get into Night Travel, and it's like this total shift into a thing. What caused that? What did you see that?
So yeah, when I made Violet's Bloom in April, it was kind of my first thing that I'd done like seriously in high school. I had a friend come up to me and kind of be like, "We should make like a student film," and I was super excited because I hadn't had anybody who'd wanted to do that with me yet, and so we'd created that story together, and it was just so early on that I had like no idea what I wanted to do. I had that story in my head, and then that was super fun to make, but I really like it. It's a cute story, but it's so not my style. And something switched really fast once I made Violet's Bloom in April, and I was like, oh, I can do this, and we can make movies. Like I was like, okay, now I want to make something that I really care about, like something that it just it like inspired me to be able to make something that is more my style after that. After I got a bit of recognition from the first one.
What are Honeycomb's influences?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was talking about this a bit yesterday. I Mandy for sure, like Panos Cosmatos is Mandy. Just like the female influence and just like the lighting and everything. That was a huge inspiration. Midsummer as well, just with the setting, of course. But there, it's weird though because those are also things that came out after I started like the story because I started writing the story in 2018. So I it's so long ago now that I don't know exactly what would have inspired me. I mean, filmmakers that have inspired me forever, like Sofia Coppola and like Greta Gerwig, but those aren't horror directors, so I don't know where exactly that came from, but those are definitely some of my horror inspirations later on.
No, that's fantastic. As a matter of fact, in the review that's coming out, I actually said you do a lot of jump cuts too, and I was like, "That's very good art of you." Like, just,
Yeah,
yep, we're
yeah.
done there. Just go back. So that's cool. That's
Yeah.
great. All right, so let's jump into the movie a little. Willow has this strong pull to nature and her need to pull her friends into it too.
Mhm.
What is the like cult sort of momentum thinking there?
Like with like Willow's personality or just overall.
Overall, yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. With Willow's character, I was just it less so that she had envisioned a cult to begin, and more so that she just wanted her friends all in one place without any distractions. I think she was the dreamer of the group, and I don't think that it was necessarily done with like I don't think she had like ill intentions. There wasn't like evil lurking there where she was like, oh, I'm going to drag all these girls over here and bad things are going to happen. I think it was done more innocently. I say it like I don't know because
no, well, I think that final moment in the movie kind of proves that too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
First of all, loved that. That really, you did such a fantastic job of making people look in the wrong direction, and then pulled that, and I was like, yeah, okay. So I just wanted to tell you that I appreciate that. The other thing I wanted to ask was Leader's character is sort of the perpetrator of violence.
Yes.
Yeah. So what? I guess my question is, what, like, was there attributes assigned to each person, or was it just like, oh no, she can pull that off?
Yeah, the characters were I already had who was gonna play who like in my head already when I was writing the script, and I would say that these characters they are my friends' personalities, but like exaggerated. Destiny, who plays Leader, is not a total bitch, but she has, those tendencies to be like direct and blunt, and so that and she took that and just went with it. Honestly, the script wasn't as angry as she took that character, but we had so much fun doing that. We would take a shot and then she'd be like, can I like get more angry? And I'd be like, yeah, let's try that. And it turned out so good. I love her parts.
Yeah, so that was another question I had. So a lot of the people in the movie are your friends. Was it difficult to direct them at any moment? Was there,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to be like a boss to your friends. For the most part, it works well. Like it wouldn't have gotten done if it didn't work. Sometimes I think like, oh, that was so hard, but I was like, but it still happened. There was definitely also when I'm not paying them, they're kind of working for free, and there's moments where it was the most important thing in my life and they had jobs and like other things going on in their lives, where it wasn't like the number one priority, and that could get frustrating for me, and I had to kind of sit back and be like, no, like, these people have lives as well. And yeah, there was definitely I think I even might have lost like a few friendships in that summer, just because it's like a really strange relationship, to be working that closely with your friends in like a boss, role. But it also made a lot of my friends a lot closer. I still live in the same house as like a lot of the cast members and stuff, so it worked out. But there were definitely like some big challenges.
All right, cool. I did want to ask about PJ's moment as well in the film. There's that moment where he's just sort of done with everything. He's sort of the more insightful character, sort of understanding like there's no good that can come from what's happening. What was trying to frame this question? From where I thought that the movie was sort of going, I kind of saw the boys were kind of at first sort of leaning in like, what's going on? They're super curious, and then all of a sudden there's this like complete shut off moment, and I mean it makes sense. It's there for a reason, but I was just like, tonally, what made you think that this is how this was going to go? This is where this character was going to lead us.
Yeah, I wanted kind of all of the male characters except for PJ to be more kind of like whatever, like they're doing what they're doing. We get to go there, we get to party, we don't care, which I feel like in a real setting would be what happens. It's not like the boys would rise up, I mean, I haven't seen it anyways and be like, screw this, but their character was different. I think that they were jealous of like the closeness and what was going on there, and yeah, I wanted them to be like so skeptical and that kind of like envy to be involved in a group like that, or to be special, and that's just like a personality thing that I've noticed in people, not necessarily
No offense,
but that like that want to be like involved because there's a lot of times where it's like, you know, females, that was the whole theme with the film, is that females are kind of in the shadows, but that's not necessarily true of all times. I've noticed a lot of times when my male friends will get jealous, like we're having the girls' night and there's a guy that's like, what, why can't I be there? Like that kind of like, it's like a gender thing. And there's a lot of stuff going on there, but I wanted PJ's character to be really in tune with that and not okay with just hanging out and partying. He wanted to be more involved.
All right. The animation effects in the movie, was that all you?
Yeah, like the opening, like the claymation.
Well, that and the writing in the book,
Oh
the
yeah,
diary,
yeah,
or
that
not diary, the note. I'm sorry, back to
mhm.
the parents.
Yeah, Jillian and I, Jules's character, the one who wrote the note in the film, her and I did that in her room. We just collected her things, and she was the one to actually write the letter out, and that took a long time.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, no, I sat there and I was like, damn, okay. So that was there's this one question in my head that gets me is I saw online somewhere that you were accepted to film school and then decided not to go. You wanted to actually create films instead of go through a program.
Yeah.
What was the determining factor on that?
Yeah, so I first applied for like a Vancouver Film School right when I graduated. And then to be completely honest, and no like bashing of that school in particular, but I heard a lot of negative things about film school in general, just that there are like really rigid guidelines, and that when you make things, they can be owned by the school and not by yourself. And I had a huge when I heard that, I was like, wow, that is so not what I want for myself right now. I just felt like the only reason I wanted to go to film school was to meet more film people, in reality. And I was like, I can do that by myself. I can figure that out. Like it might be a little bit harder and it might take more time, but I think that it'd be worthwhile. And I had a feeling also that I could go and not do well and then feel as though like film wasn't for me because I wasn't doing well in film school. And I really didn't want that to happen. Um, so yeah, those were kind of my biggest deciders there.
Okay, good. Well, I think you're doing well so far.
Thank you.
All right, as a first-time feature-length director, what were your biggest
Yeah, I think, honestly, the filming and like the shooting portion, that wasn't, I mean, it was tricky, but it honestly, it didn't take, we did a lot of just long days and we kind of got through it pretty quickly. But the actual, I do all my own editing. So the post-production editing time was insane. Just working with that much footage really changes things, and that much to score and that much sound to work on. Like there was just, it was like a whole other level. I was working with new software as well. So it was like, it took me, I had a family friend who was like, Avalon, like you should hire an editor. That's going to take you a year. And I was like, no, it won't. And then it took me 3 years. It's like, just so long. I would work on it and be like, okay, cool. We're at a good spot with this. And then I would be so sick of it that I would leave it for like 3 months and then go back. It was just like this ongoing thing. So that for sure, the post-production editing, if I was to do it again, I might need some help with that.
challenge? Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. All right. What did you learn while making?
um, I think a lot about, I mean, a lot, but a lot about, like honestly, like how to be a director. I can't wait for a chance to have more support, more, kind of behind the scenes support, so I can really focus on that role and be like a good director. Because there were so many times where I was the driver and I was the like script supervisor and I was getting the costumes ready and doing makeup and dealing with like food for everybody and like all these things that it was really fun, but I'm really looking forward to like, and I guess what I learned is that I need more support, um, to be able to focus more on that role as a director and learn how to be really good at it.
All right. And now you said that you were working on this for 3 years. Is there any new ideas prospering?
Yeah, I wrote a script before Christmas for a new kind of girl culty horror. It's called Camp. Um, and I'm really, really excited about that. It's similar, but it's also like totally new, and I'm just like I just want to make something again. It's been a long time actually since I've like shot anything, so I'm really excited about that.
I get that. So, are you working? So this is gonna be like a trilogy, huh?
Yeah.
This is gonna be like a whole bunch of grow up
Yeah.
out in the woods horror. I like it.
Yeah, and it's so lovely because I mean, I'm still close with the, like, main characters from Honeycomb and stuff that I know that at least a few of them are gonna reappear again, so it'll totally be, like, this world continuation probably for the rest of my life, hopefully, so
That's very cool.
mhm,
All right, that was the last question I had for you.
cool.
Is there any questions that you have for me, or do you,
I just wanted to thank you for that article you wrote. That was so great.
Oh, that was
I
just the news piece. I hadn't even seen the film at that point.
No, but it was great. I loved it. I love that you referenced my older work because no one had done that yet. My family really loved it. My friends really loved it. We shared it like all over. So yeah, I just wanted to thank you for that.
Oh, you're very welcome. Like I said, I enjoyed the film very much. I think you're gonna have a stellar career.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.